Hello, hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Hi, hi, and welcome back to the second part of our dragon page of our mushroom dragon in Dragons and Other Magically Mythical Creatures by Camilla for the next prompt for the Coloring Checklist Challenge by Color and Chat with Sammie, artist starting with a C. Also, this will be my entry for the hashtag coloring cups 23 by Color and Craft with Shannie Blue. All her links are also in the description, and the hashtag for the coloring cups is color something red and use water-based medium like watercolors. No, I think it's watercolors, but there you can choose whatever you have, whatever you want, like watercolor pencils or Derwent inktense or such. Like I said, I will leave the links for both of those lovely ladies under my description. It's also in the first part already, and check them out and give them some love if you haven't already. Okay, I have the Derwent pencils out that we used down here. I have the beige and the raw umber neocolor that we used here for the stamps. And all the prismas that I used are still lying on the side. You can see from the last part I colored in the clouds. All I did was just base it with silver gray, I think. Yes, silver gray and light gray. Just no specific way, just scribble it in a little bit and very uneven, and then outlined them with Posca and put a little bit of Posca inside, and that's it. Nothing fancy. Okay, so for this dragon, as I said, I want him to match the mushrooms. Means he will have a brownish, whitish belly. This one will be white, and I think these will be white too. Also the inside of the wings, and the rest will match the red colors. That's my plan for now. Maybe we will change in between, but I think that's what we are going for. Also, as you can see, I finished activating the very, very light background. It doesn't show up on the camera, and it is not very strong anyways, but I think it will pop out more once the red in between is in, so the contrast is a little bit stronger. Okay, so I think we will start from the head to the toe, and we will see how long it will take and if there are some areas that I can finish off camera. But let's just see. Whoop. Hello. Okay. So I think I will start with the light red, the poppy red. I'm not sure if I want him to have a little bit white on the neck. I don't think so, because here are these bumps like the scales, and I think I will just make the areas that are quite relatively smooth in the white brownish color. So I think his neck will be fully red. As a guideline, I will just use these bumps on his body to where I want it red and where it will be white. 1 second, please. Okay, I had to move my Tombow box because when the desk is wobbling around, it makes noises. I don't want that. And just the way we started with the mushrooms, a very light and soft layer with inktense, and then building up from there. Okay, then the face will be a little lighter, brighter. I think his snout will also be brown. Okay, down here. or brown, this whitish beigey brown, not brown brown. Okay, but in his face I also want a little bit of this orange. So we are going in with scarlet pink. Let me bring you a little bit more in, shall we? Ooh. Well, that's actually the first time I can record while all the lights are off, just with the daylight. For me, it's now pretty dark, but for you on camera, it's pretty bright. So that's fun. We will see how this goes. Okay, and up here, I want his neck on the upper side to be lighter and brighter, and down here it will be darker. Okay, then also let's go into the wings. Poppy red. No. I was looking if there's this thingy that supports the wing, but you can't see it here, so no red there. Okay, and his arms. I'm not pressing down too hard again. Okay, then tangerine for a little bit of orange in his face. Everything where the light hits more. Once again, my light sources are all over the place. Again. But at this point, it pretty much worked for me. Just like this. Just a quick test how far I can go till I appear in the camera. I will focus on this part because when we run out of time, you have at least seen a wing and the head. I think that's the most exciting part, and then I can, when we are running out of time, I can do these parts of camera. But you don't lose the main parts then. That's my emergency plan for now. Okay, then we have chili red. We are going a little darker now. Okay, and then a little bit on the body. Chili red. Where's my chili red? This was chili red, so yeah, poppy red is what I meant to say. And where's tangerine? Just so it matches with the rest. Okay, but now we have to, since this line wouldn't make sense if we don't put something red up here, we're just going to do it like this. Poppy red. Yes, I think that's okay. Tangerine. Then the dark ones. Red oxide. It's already pretty much the guideline for my shadings later on with the pencils. Then down here, okay, I think that's good for now. It's super bright, right? Okay, anyway, my brush that I left open yesterday evening, very good. Now it's completely dry. Second. Reactivate, reactivate. Okay, here we go. As always, wet the white areas too, so we won't create a harsh waterline here. And then just start activating. Careful with the eye. And as you can see, I'm once again working with the brush pointing towards the darkest areas, but with the tip. This helps to get the gradient smoother on that side. Always go to the darkest areas, because that's where you will leave the most pigment that you have in your brush. And then once again we will go up. Okay. From the lightest part to the darkest part. all the same. If you have too much pigment in your brush, just swipe it off on your paper towel and then go back in again. Now it looks more like a cherry dragon instead of a mushroom dragon, but it's okay. From light to dark, once again. Wipe it off. Do it all over again. Now I'm actually working with the waterline that I created here because this is dry and this not. But this way we can kind of smoothly separate these parts from each other. On his shoulder it didn't work out as well, but it's fine. First of all, we have to bring in the neo colors, and then the rest will be fixed with pencils anyway. So his claws and his fingers, I just want to be red on top. Okay. Then just this part of the belly, and then we will start with pencil and see how far we will come in this part. But as in the previous parts that I did from my color alongs, I will show you everything and then I just will continue with the same techniques and colors and will just stay with the stuff that I used, that I've shown you. Okay, now I will pause for a second and let it dry, and then we will go in with the neo colors and make his belly and his snout and these fins things, and then we will back. Okay, we are back, and I even closed the blinds on the window halfway. So if you could see, I'm almost sitting in the dark here. But I feel that's the first time that the colors are pretty close to the actual colors. So maybe I should leave the lights out next time. It's so weird. But anyway, so let's go to the belly. And like I did with the stems, that's the Neo Color 2 in beige. And then I'll just scribble down a little of raw umber here. Okay. It's so weird, really. Then let's go in here. I think it's because it's snowing right now here, and that the light is so much brighter now outside. Really curious how the light situation will be in summer for me. Okay. Middle part I leave white. And the belly down here. Okay, the wings. Just roughly, as you can see. To get a direction, and then we will finish these up with French gray Prismacolors later on. Still remember not to press down too hard. Claws. Okay. Then back to activate. I have to refill, but for this one it will be enough. Okay. The arms. Just pushing the pigments towards the lines again. Change the direction of my brush. Okay. And the wings. We will need quite a bit of water. Here I will create a line intentionally. And I forgot my glove, because now I have to be careful with the red from the Tombows. And I lay my hand down here. Right now I have pretty cold hands, so it will be okay, but when it's warm, I will get in trouble. Okay, so these are the parts. I will dry this again, and then we are already at the pencil stage. 1 second. Okay, all dried, and I just realized I forgot to lay down the raw umber that I scribbled on my pen on my palette, but doesn't care. I will do it with the pencils, and I will also start with the white parts because I forgot you on the stems when I colored these in, so I will show you up there. And let's bring in some of my French grays, just as usual to have the variety here that I want. And it's French gray 20, 30, 50, 70 and 90, basically all of them. except the 10%, and Prisma white. Okay, and let's start with 30%. Let's do the wing a little bit. And I think, no, let's see. Maybe we will bring a little bit of beige from the Prismas too, if we decide this is a little bit too brown. But for now, let's work our way through the French grays. I don't have to do that much because I want the wing actually to appear in a dirty white and not a brown gray. So it will only be shading, but the minority will stay white. Okay. Now I'm starting to jump over the page just from one light area to the next. here, it's hard to say which jar goes up, which one goes down. Okay. Okay. Then the next one. Did I say it was 20 or 30? It was French gray 30%, just in case I misspoken. That's the 50%. And I'm just following the lines from the artist here that Camilla provided us. Just a little bit on these bumps. Sorry if I'm a little quiet right now. I feel like at this point you can tell when I'm recording in the morning or in the evening. In the morning I'm more quiet. Still in the waking up process. I'm working not too carefully right now. Just bringing the colors in. Then French gray 70%. So we are going through these. The darker the color gets, the less I use them. The smaller the areas get where I use them. At this stage I can still darken some areas later on. but this is still very rough and shadow from the arm. Okay. Okay. Then 90%, the very deepest one. Here I'm starting to get a little bit more careful on where I lay this down. Lighten it up. It's somehow possible, but too much work. So being careful in the first place saves you time and effort. In considering fixing stuff, I'm lazy. I don't want to. So, yeah. Okay. A little bit up here. I think here. Just pure feeling, not planning, not thinking, is this right? Is this wrong? Is this shadow here correctly placed? I don't care, I just throw it in. I think that's something that comes with practice over the years. I mean, with the coloring books, with the actual coloring books, I started when the first COVID lockdown hit in Germany. But prior to that, I was already drawing and painting, and so coloring or colors are not new to me. From my very early childhood years on, I had pretty much always a pencil or a pen in my hand or in my mouth. But so yeah, I'm familiar with colors and shadows and stuff, so I don't have to think very hard. I just let my hand flow. Okay, so now, do I want to bring a little bit of beige? Yes, I think so, but I have to search for it, of course. Where is it? Where is it? Beige. Just beige. And I basically now blend a little bit in the darker areas with beige. Still leave the middle parts out, because it should be actually a white wing, a dirty white wing, but a white wing, or a cream wing, however you want to call it. Not too much pressure, but a little bit. Okay. I don't know how my page is always wandering this direction. Always have to push it back. I think because this time I'm actually sitting here, so I will not bring my head under the camera. I think that's it, that I'm slowly pulling the page towards me, because actually I'm sitting next to my page. It's also pretty weird. But you gotta do what you gotta do, whatever works. I feel like every time I'm recording, I have the camera somewhere else, or zoomed in, or not zoomed in. Yeah, just bring the whole stand down. Okay, now French gray, cool gray 90% for the very deep areas, or where an actual shadow should be. Just here and there. Not too much. Trying not to press too hard on this. Do we like that? I think. Okay. Here I can, since I will use the cool gray 90 in the red area too, I can go with the shadow all the way through. Also on the red part. Yeah, I think there will be a lot of space that I will color off camera. This is taking quite a while. Even though I'm considering myself, when I'm coloring, quite fast. But still, these pages take a lot of time. Even though if you initially look at the page, you think, oh, that's a quick one. And basically it is a quick one, but also the quick ones take a while. If you want to make them pretty, then you have to put in the time and the effort. So, I mean, I'm pretty much rushing through some of these pages. But still, I want to make them look pretty at the end. And if I have to fiddle around some areas for hours, then I will do that, but the minority I want to have in fast. Okay, I think for the white parts, that's it for me at this moment. Maybe we will shade a little bit later on with Tombow markers. Let me just quickly take the white and blend in here and there a little bit, which is very, very rough, as you can see. Just close some of those tooth of the paper. Whoop, 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 whoop. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Okay, we can work on the details and the shading later on after we have laid down the red. Okay, so white parts done. Onto the red ones. I think I want to work from dark to light. So we are starting with the darkest red color, that was black raspberry. And just smash that in. Not too much pressure on this too. Can still darken it afterwards, but lighten it back up, it's way harder. Also at this point I don't want to close the tooth too much. A little bit of shading on his face. Okay. And the lower edge to create a little bit of dimension here. Here too. Okay. Here's a little more, bit more shadowy, a little darker. Then we are working on the shadows on the belly here, or on the back. It's not belly anymore. We are always already going to the back. And no, pretty light-handed considering we are working with Prismas. Don't press down too hard in the first layer at least. Can always go darker afterwards if needed, but if it's not needed, then it's hard to get it back up to the light stage. Okay, then mahogany red. if you jump in right now, no, this is not sped up. That's actually my coloring speed for this one. I mean, the more intricate a page is, the slower I will be too, of course. But for this one, I can go a little faster, since the area is basically pretty big. There's not so much tiny details. I mean, it's one dragon, and it doesn't have individual scales or stuff. And you would barely see me coloring each and every scale anyway, so no, it's not sped up. It's just me. It's me. Hi. Good. Then next, Crimson Lake. We are getting in a little more bright reddish areas now. Again, light-handed. You hear some hammering sounds. I'm sorry. I swear the wall to my neighbor has to look at this point like Swiss cheese. One day I will visit him and just check how much of the wall is left on his side. So funny. Okay, what was that? Crimson Lake, yes, correct. And now we have Scarlet Lake. Now we are fading out a little bit into the snout. Maybe bring in a little bit of red here and there, but not too much. Good. That's enough. Constantly checking if I'm in frame, but the page is already wandering to the left again. Now I'm starting to press a little harder. Just a little bit. Okay, next we have Pale Vermilion. Once again, pressing down a little harder. We are starting to close the tooth now. and cover the whole area, including the dark space, at least roughly. If there are some areas that we are not hitting, then it's not a problem. Okay. Then the light deco peach for the very light parts that we want to have. And now I'm pressing quite hard already. We will go into the darker parts in a second again. But now just let's finish the light parts. Now you can see in his shoulder where I wasn't as happy with the dissolving of the inktense. You can not see this anymore. It's completely gone. Completely covered. So all good. Okay, then back to the dark ones. Dark potions with black raspberry. Getting in some shading again that we have lost, or where we weren't dark enough in the beginning. Now we are starting to work out our final shadings. See where we want it to be dark, light. We are just defining our color layers now. Okay. Stop it here. And if you remember from the mushrooms, there are still a few colors that I used in the dark areas. We will use them up here too in a second, like the espresso and the cool gray 90. Oh my god, buddy. Do me a favor. Just hit that stupid nail correctly once or twice. I don't know if you heard him at this point. I think we had around 30 hits with the hammer at this point, I think onto one nail, and he uses just enough power to maybe get the nail into a soft block of soap. Don't know what he's doing. Sorry for rambling around, but he's doing this ongoing. Okay, so espresso. But I think I've set the activation volume for the microphone low enough so you won't hear it. So at least I hope so, that it cancels out the sound of him. Otherwise, if not, if you can actually hear it, then welcome to my world. Okay. But I think you shouldn't hear him. And I will not stop the video just because he's trying to puncture a piece of styrofoam or stuff. We are not gonna do it. We will sit through it. Unless he brings out the heavy machines again. Then we will maybe considering doing a break. But at this point, we are so far. We came so far. Okay. Belly. Okay, he's getting darker now. It's good. And now, since we were working with a lot of layers with these waxy prismas, the glare is coming back. Can see, maybe. Then Scarlet Lake, because I lost a little bit of the red parts, red areas. It's a little too brown now. Yeah, there will definitely be the rest of the dragon that I will color off camera, but just the way that I show you right here. And I think that's pretty much the main parts that you can see anyway. I think his legs will be on the lower edge, also in this grayish colors, and just like we did here. And the other wing will be the same as here. So you will not miss on anything. If you watch this part, then you will have everything. What do I need? The cool gray 90 for the last deepest areas. Separate the head a little bit from the neck. I mean, not separate the head, but you know what I mean. Okay. Define the face. Yup, 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 yup. Not too much pressure again. Just where I want it to be really dark, but otherwise very light-handed. So I will not get dark streaks, pencil streaks. Like I said, just where I want it to be very dark, pressing harder. Yep, yep, yep. I think he still looks more like a cherry dragon now. But well, there is the hashtag for red, and I think we have enough red in. Okay, so then white, just for the parts where the light would hit him. And maybe to push this red back a little bit on the arm. When we are going from red to the gray area, make sure that you don't have any red stuff on your pencil. Otherwise it's not too bad, but the red you don't want to have in your white areas. Okay. Down here a little bit. Okay, so now let me bring out our Posca pens that we use down here. And then we are doing the... Oh! Okay, let me bring them out. And then we do our highlights first. And then we go in with the Posca pen, and then I will finish the rest on my own. 1 second. Okay, so Posca pens are here. But we are doing the highlights first. There will not be that much, but just a little bit here if the if it would work. That would be fun. Just a little bit on top, like a little shine here and there in the spikes. I don't want them to disappear completely. Okay. Then in this part, let me see if we can get something something going on here. Cover the black line a little bit, like we did in the spots on the mushrooms. So it looks a little bit more soft. Okay. Cleaning up this edge. It will not take too much. Just soften out this upper line. I try to not to press down too hard, because the little ball in this pen will scrape off a little bit of the wax layer when I press too hard, and then the pen will be clogged up and will not work. I don't want that to happen. So pretty light. Like I said, there will not be too much. Will not go too heavy highlights like we did in the mushroom, because this surface of his skin is just, I imagine, not very smooth. So just follow the spikes and the lines that Camilla gave us a little bit, but not too much. Just scribbling in here and there a little bit. Okay. I mean, it is a big area, but I will not go and think about every highlight on every little spike and bump and hump and whatsoever. No, no, too much work. Don't want that. Now I'm laying down quite a bit of highlight, but after we go in with the Tombow, we will hit some of these highlights and they will disappear again. No, these were wrong. These I don't want to. Okay, and this little hand. Just on the very top of his fingers. And as you can see, maybe it's, like I said, not super bright, super opaque. First of all, it has to dry. Second of all, these jelly rolls are not too bright, too opaque. So for me, the most opaque white pens, if they are working as they should, big if, are the Posca pens. but you have to shake them forever, for real. So the pigments are getting mixed with the liquid really good. Otherwise, you will just have some clear liquid coming out, and your pigment will sit at the bottom of your pen and will just not come out. Okay, that's enough for me. Now, where's my brush? Here. Is it wet? Yeah. Good. Then I will lay down the darker one. Once again, this is 837. Just in the very dark areas, we will pull them out, pull the color out with a brush again. You can take your time with this step. If it dries, it's not too bad. First of all, it dries on the wax layer, so it will not soak in too deep. Second of all, I mean, if a little sweaty hand is enough to lift these pigments up, then trust me, if you come in with a wet brush, they will lift. They will leave their spot and follow you wherever you want them to go, but they will also follow you where you don't want them to go. So you can take your time with this step if you want to, if you need to. You don't have to cover the whole area that you want to be dark. Just think that you will have the pigment in your brush later on, and you can drag them around, and you will not need that much pigment, otherwise it will be too much. Just start with a very, very small amount, a very small area, and you will be surprised how much it will cover. Okay, then the next one we have the 856. And now I somehow twisted my page, but I will leave it like this for now. You can see really not that much, but it will cover a big space later on. Also, you see it's not very careful, so they work pretty good on this waxy layer. At least for me, it's fine. Okay, and the belly back. Okay, then the magic with the brush. I will work from this side to this side just so I don't work over the areas and smooch it all around and smear it all around. Okay, did I use down here? Yes, I did. Okay. Now I have to concentrate myself a little bit. Again. And you can see we are already losing some of the jelly roll highlights. But this, I knew that, therefore I laid down a little bit more. Okay, the surface is pretty uneven, so I will just use the brush and dip the color a little bit to give it a little more dimension. And you can see how well these pigments are getting lifted as soon as the water touches it. So you can imagine what happened if you touch it with wet fingers. Nothing good. Can tell you, nothing good happened a lot to me. Because I forgot the glove or just worked from the wrong side of the page to the wrong side of the page. So as I would work this way, that's not a good idea. If you've done this, will be a challenge for me too when I come to these parts. But everything for you, everything for you. Usually I would do this step at the very end of the whole page. But that would be tricky to show. And I want you to have the completed areas as one so you can watch it and not have the joy of being distracted of me coloring all over the page and then go back all over the page. So I want you to have this area that we are coloring on camera completely finished in one go, and I will be fine later on. Just have to remember to put on my glove and then everything will be fine. Okay, down here. And the scary part, the face. Okay, so at this point I feel this white part is a little bit lost. So I will also bring out some Tombow marker for here. 1 second. Okay, so here we are. I will use the 992. 990 I just brought in here just in case. Okay, so darkest parts again. Okay, I think now I hit a little bit of the red. So I just cleaned it like the brush on the paper towel. Because I don't want any red in my white parts. Yeah, I think I like that better. Be careful, here's red, 2. Down here there's red in the mushrooms, so this is a very tricky step to walk around all these red areas with the other Tombow markers. Okay. Whoops. Okay. Good. And we are actually taking the 990. It's a lighter beigey color. Good. And for the finishing touches, and then we are done for today. Just where I want the streaks of the lighter Tombow marker disappear a little bit. Or drag the color around a little bit more. Okay. I think this is fine for me. And this is how I will do the rest of our dragon. And then I will quickly come back to you and show you the final result. And then we will have colored the next page on the channel and the next color along. I hope you like it that far. Yeah, okay. We'll be back soon, and then I will show you the finished dragon. Okay, so we are back again. The red color is all in. You can barely see the blue background, but it's there, I promise. You will probably see it better on the picture afterwards. It is there. Also, this part I can see it appears a little bit more pinkish. Also here, but it's not. It's just the camera that doesn't pick it up. Right. Okay, so now I want to make a few last adjustments on this little guy, and this is for once the eye. I want it to be a little more present. I don't know how I should say it otherwise. That means I will cover up this whole thing with really dark black. Fine liner. Looks weird now, I know. So we let it dry just a second. And then our Posca, no, not our Posca. I will take the Jelly Roll 05, this one. And then let me bring you a little down here. I will just bring in my own little highlight. At least if the Jelly Roll wants to cooperate with me. No, it doesn't. Great, thank you. It's very nice of you. Okay, we take the Posca. It's a little too thick actually, but let's see. Yeah, I think I like that better. Okay, and the next thing, I feel that it's just a little too not separated enough. So therefore, I will take the N57 from the Tombows. That's a pretty dark, uh, muddy gray, and I use this a lot to get my final shadows in. And that's usually what I do. When I have finished it, I just adjust my contrast and my shadows afterwards once again. If I'm done so far, just to see where something is missing. And then I go in with the Posca again and correct everything that I want to be dark, and just rework the whole picture again if there's something missing, at least in my mind. And once again, this is now pretty tricky for me because you can see it okay, but for me, this room is still so dark. It's kind of a guessing game now, since we are a few hours later. It's just getting darker and darker for me. On your side, it's completely fine. That's a new one for me. But we will get it. Okay, so up here I will once again use my brush. So it's not that harsh of a line up here. Okay. And then we will just rework our dragon once again. Just checking in between from a little further back if we are going into the right direction, where I want it to be. Because these are now very dark shadows, so I have to be careful a little bit here. And then smooth it out. Okay. Okay. Here. Okay. I hope you can see a difference. I mean, I can, but I hope you can too. Okay. Okay. A little down here. Now I'm just constantly checking on the camera and on the paper and all of this with terrible lighting. That's fun. That's fun. Okay, now I will try to separate it here a little bit more from the mushrooms when we will come down there. Still hope you can see the difference, but I think it's quite an obvious difference. So don't be afraid of deep shadows. They will help your page at the end coming to life. These pictures just, as I feel, especially these relatively simple pages like this one. I mean, there's not that much going on except for the dragon. They really live and need the right shadows and stuff to really come alive. And as you can see, I'm just adjusting the tombows with my brush to where I want it to be. It's just super simple with these. I would pretty much never use a water-based marker on a really big area as the marker itself, because I couldn't prevent the streakiness of a water-based marker neither. So I totally get where some people are coming from when they say I don't like them because they are always streaky as heck and just don't look good. And that's when I started to just use them in a different way. And I think this is a way more efficient way of using them. Not as a marker per se for bigger areas, but just to help you embrace and take your pencil works to the next level. I think using different kinds of stuff really helps. Okay, then we lay down a shadow under his fingers too, to separate it from the mushroom. I think that helps. Here too. Really get really dark. Can also do this here a little bit. Yeah, I think that helps. Then in the back, this piece of the tail. Okay, now I have to be careful not to smear it. We go back into the wing. Because this one has to be separated a little bit from the body at least. Whoop. Whoop. Okay, whoops. Just get it a little smoother out here. Drag some pigment up. Here also. Yeah, that looks better. Don't you think? Let me know, do you think this step is necessary and you can see a difference, or am I doing too much work here at this point? I mean, you can decide for yourself if that's a step you maybe want to try on your colorings, or if it's just unnecessary for you and too much work. But I mean, you guys asked me how I color, and that's just the way. That's my way. It's my way. It's my way. Okay. Then here, the toes a little. Are we still in frame? Yes, we are in frame. I'm happy. Okay. 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 Then let's separate this leg a little bit from the mushroom. Good. Very dark area down here. Here. No. Messed up a little bit. Missed it a little bit, but now you at least can see what I will do then. Because with the Prisma base, it's not sucking into the paper directly, so you can move it, can fix it. Okay. Here, a little bit of shadow. Here. Then let's smooth this out. I think that's better. And here. Okay. Is there a part that we missed? No. 1 second. There is something that I want to add, but then I need the 992 again, because I want here a shadow to go down from the tip. So let's just color this in real quick. There you go. That's better. That's better. Okay. Actually, I think I like this. Okay, but just for the sake of the background. 1 second. Okay, I just took out the light blue from the background again, since you can really see nothing of it on the camera. So quite a bit of water. Just dissolving it on the palette. And then try to get this here darker. We try to not touch the dragon, just to prevent anything from it. Wow, I mean, it is there, you can not see it, so just absolutely not. Okay, we are having some issues today, but at least the dragon shows up. That's good. That's all that counts. Just don't touch the dragon. And yeah, I mean, then you can at least, I'm really sure the colors will appear different for the background on the picture later on. Then you have another reason to go to my Instagram page too and check it out there too. But now I started it with the blue. Now I have to finish it, otherwise it would look weird. It's okay. I mean, it's not that I just changed the whole color of the background, it's just deepening up here and there. It's not that I changed the whole picture, so it's fine. Just don't touch the dragon, don't touch the dragon. Because this will bleed and it will look ugly as hell. Okay, a little down here. Okay, and down here, just so it's even on both sides. Yes, I think I'm happy with this. I hope you are too. And I will leave it like this. Take a picture so you can see the background, maybe. And I would call this done. And we have the next prompt finished for the Coloring Checklist Challenge 2023, and also for the hashtag Coloring Cups 23 by the beautiful ladies Color and Chat with Sammie and Color and Craft with Shannie Blue. And like I said, all links in the description. And I really hope you enjoyed and will join me in the next part, in the next color along tutorial, whatever, haven't decided yet. But I really hope you will be there and check it out. And so far, thank you already so much for watching my videos. Hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, that's all I have to say. And so till the next time, bye.